A unique art exhibit is sticking around for a few more days. That's just one of the things you'll want to hear about to start your day for Friday, August 23rd. I'm Colin Shope, and this is WCBU's On Deck. First on deck today, influenza, RSV, and COVID aren't alone. There's another seasonal illness circulating as we prepare for flu season. The Centers for Disease Control issued a health alert last week for parvovirus B19. The virus appeared in more clinical tests than usual in Europe before the CDC issued the warning in the U.S. Fortunately, according to Dr. Douglas Casper at the University of Illinois College of Medicine at Peoria, most people recover from parvovirus before they even know they have it.
The populations where we really become interested in parvovirus are pregnant women, and the reason is that the viral infection can be transmitted from the mother to the fetus.
Casper says the virus can also pose a risk to immunocompromised people, especially patients with blood disorders like sickle cell anemia. The best prevention, Casper says, is a classic: regular hand washing.
If you are sick, you stay home and let yourself recover. And by recover, we mean be without fever for a period of 24 hours. And that you alert your family members that, I'm not feeling well.
Parvovirus is transmitted by droplets and can pass quickly between kids in environments like schools. If you do get the infection, Casper says you'll be sick for a few days and can recover with rest and hydration. Children may develop a characteristic rash on their face. Here are some other stories we're following in the WCBU newsroom. 50 decoys on loan from New York City's American Folk Art Museum will be featured at the Peoria Riverfront Museum in some very special display cases. And the Illinois Attorney General has charged 5 men over an alleged burglary ring that targeted video gaming machines in 22 counties. Plus, thousands of pro-Palestinian demonstrators marched near the Democratic National Convention in Chicago Wednesday to protest the war in Gaza. You can find more of these stories and all the details at WCBU.org. There's still time to see a unique exhibition at United Methodist Church's Foster Gallery that was created by the Assistant Professor of Graphic Design at Bradley University. On this week's episode of Out and About, Dr. May Gilliland Wright of Arts Partners of Central Illinois talks with that artist and professor, Jay Che, about his current exhibition, The Stages of the Archetypal Design Process. See it now through Sunday.
Jay, before we dive into your artwork, I'd love to hear more about your fascinating background. You have an MFA in product design interaction. Tell us about that.
Well, it's evolution of my, interest. I started off really from 2D design, and 2D design I realized at one point that it was limiting. So I wanted to expand to 3D, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to pursue product design, because product design is a tactile part of design.
So tell us a bit more about that, and maybe even how that relates to your artwork that is in this current exhibition. You clearly have a deep understanding of both practical application and theoretical exploration. So how does that make itself known in the work that is now on display?
One of the biggest things that I wanted to emphasize is not so much the output, not the final work, but I wanted to kind of emphasize or put my emphasis on the input. How did I come up with this idea, and where does that idea led me to certain output? A lot of times when you go to an exhibition, whether there's a design exhibition or fine art exhibition, you only see the final product. But I wanted to really open up my exploration and my thoughts so that people can understand what is it like to really create something. And that's the, whole premise why I wanted to touch on the process rather than the output.
Let's say that I am someone who doesn't know a lot about these design concepts or the iterative process of designing something. What can I expect to see, and what do you hope that people will take away from your work?
Yeah, I think, people have a different idea what design is, right? But I think intellectuals have overcomplicated the word design, and we have all kinds of definition what design is. But design is everywhere. It's pervasive, and it's all man-made. So therefore, design is very, very accessible. Design is something very simple, but we made it complicated. So I wanted to kind of take this opportunity for audiences to understand the simple side or aspect of design and perhaps inspire some new generations of designers that they can also do or something bigger than what I'm showing to them.
So you are an assistant professor of graphic design at Bradley University, tenure track as well. Tell us how Bradley is expanding that program and how you are involved in that specifically.
So Bradley has only, in terms of design field, we only offer graphic design. And also multimedia department also offers UX design. However, those two things are somewhat work together, but it's not holistic. So we want to create and also expand to perhaps a product design or known as industrial design in order to provide more holistic design to our future generation students.
You've been listening to Highlights of Out and About, a weekly production of Arts Partners of Central Illinois and WCBU. For the full conversation, head to WCBU.org or subscribe to the podcast.
Support for arts and culture coverage on WCBU comes from PNC Financial Services. PNC is committed to supporting local art and culture events in the communities they serve.
Now, before we let you go, Peoria Irish Fest starts tonight on the riverfront at 4 p.m. Live music, food, entertainment, and more fills the riverfront for the next 3 days. Single-day tickets are $15 and the full pass is $30. And that's all for today. You can subscribe to WCBU's On Deck podcast on the NPR app, Apple, Spotify, or YouTube Music.